on this canvas, and I don't know if you can see better now what color this glass is. I don't really know how to explain it except to say it's kind of a dusty rose color, okay? So it's just kind of a dusty rose, textury color. And this was a vase that I found at Hobby Lobby in the, where you buy all the glazes and votives and stuff like this. Always use these thicker ones. Well, I use these and I use the 1/2 inch, but these are, I'm not sure, I can't remember what level these are, but let me look. Hang on the back of here. Oh, that doesn't say a level, but it's a 1.5 inch profile. I do use the 1/2 inch sometimes, but for the most part, I do the 1.5 inch. So, real quick, before we get started, I'm going to go ahead and show you how I got all these bits. Now, I'm going to show you that all these glass pieces are not perfect, and I'm going to prove that to you. Look at this one. That is not a perfect petal shape. We have all different shapes and sizes of petals, and I'm going to use them all. I am not going to discriminate against any of these. Here's even one that's just kind of a weirdo. And we are, I'm going to use all those pieces. I don't really worry and stress myself over the petals looking perfect. And once you get them on and get them arranged and get that center in, it doesn't matter anyway. They just look beautiful no matter what. Roll Tide. So I brought this vase from my collection so I could show you just real brief how I do my petals. Okay, so I have a glass nipper. All right, I have a glass nipper, and you can use these, or you can use the wheeled nippers, whichever you have and whichever ones you prefer. They both pretty much work the same. I like these for thicker glass. They just seem to work better. They're a little more heavy duty for thicker glass, and the wheeled nippers are really good for the thin stuff. I may have to use the wheeled nippers on this, but we'll just have to wait and see. So this is just a votive from Hobby Lobby. I'm trying to see what the price is. I always buy them either in clearance or half price. I never pay full price. Or you can, Goodwill's a great place to purchase this kind of stuff as well. Hey, Montana. How you, girl? So this is priced at $3.99, so odds are I paid $2 for it, minimum. All right, so $2 for this little vase, and I want to show you how I get those shapes. I'm just going to make this very brief because we're not going to cut this whole vase. I want to get started on the poinsettia that we're going to do. Hey, Leslie. Hey, Rose. Hey, Kathy. Yay, Patricia, you go. So today I sent out an email, and I'll probably post it on Facebook tomorrow. But today we sent out an email on my top 10 things for glass artists. And on that list was the waffle grid, or like a glass cutting kit, the resin, just a list of my top 10 things so that you could forward that email to anyone who you're on their Christmas list, and maybe they'll buy you something fun that you need for your glass art making for Christmas. So if you got that email from me today, go open it up, check out that list of goodies. Hey, Maureen. Just check out that list of goodies. It's my top 10 favorite thing in me. Okay, so you don't want to go in like this and with your nippers pointed down. You're welcome. If you point down, it's just going to break in half and it's going to shatter in a crazy way. But to get the curves that we're looking for our flowers, you want to cut vertical or horizontal. I'm sorry. You don't want to go up and down. You want to go side to side. Now those first couple of cuts, thank you for the stars, Christine. Hey, Lily. Those first couple of cuts are going to be hard, especially on this because of the shape of the votive. So those first couple of cuts are going to be a little difficult, but you're just going to get your nipper in there kind of at an angle and go ahead and just squeeze. Oh, this is going to be too thin probably. And then once you have a gap where you can get your nippers in going along the edge of your glass, just bring it in and squeeze. This one is too thin. This is what happens if you have vase that's too thin. Now it's probably going to get thicker towards the bottom, so I'm going to just work my way down a little. But what should be happening, whoa, see how I didn't even squeeze and that broke? This is why you want thicker vase glass. Thank you, Rebecca. I forgot to turn off my stars, didn't I? This is why you want thicker glass, because this thin glass breaks and not in a good way. All right, so I just broke that whole piece off. You could use this for something, but it's just not my favorite. I want petals. Hang on. See, I should have known I was going to have a problem. It's just been that kind of day. It's just been a day, and I got glass going everywhere. And this is pretty much how my last vase broke. It's just sometimes a crapshoot. I'm going to set this aside, and I'm going to try to get down to where the glass in this vase is thicker, but apparently it's just not. I might have to grab another one. Oh, there went one. Look at there. So basically these are the shapes you're looking for. They're skinny and they're curvy and they make great petals. All right. So what you're going to do is just go around and around. Try not to cut yourself. Put on your gloves and around and around and around. Now, if you're a member of the Shattered Circle, there are tons of videos, and there is a video in the learning tool on how to create these petals and all this kind of stuff. So make sure you check that out if you're new. We have a few new members. So basically, you're going to go around the edge of that vase with your tools, and you want the thicker glass, and then you end up with these petal-shaped little pieces that you can use as petals, you can use as leaves, you can use all the kind of stuff. Uh-oh, the hater helps your algorithm still. Oh, do we have a hater on board? Uh-oh. If we get a troll, y'all let me know. Y'all be on troll alert, because let me just tell you this. We have had so many trolls lately, so many people coming onto our site and onto our comment section and making like rude comments and stuff. And I try to watch for that on a daily basis, but sometimes it's hard. So if y'all ever see that on one of our posts, yeah, I'm having a difficult time, that's for sure. See, but as long as they're kind of oval shaped, that's really all you need. And I just kind of nicked myself right there too. Okay, so that is the process for nipping those pieces. If we'd have had a better vase, it would have gone a lot nicer, but that's okay too. Sometimes that's just how it be. So once you get all those pieces nipped, oh, look, see, I didn't wear my gloves and have a tiny piece of glass right in my hand. Do as I say, not as I do, right? Let me put those away. So once you have those pieces nipped, you need to sand down the points, okay? So you're going to take your little pieces. Look at this piece. That is so jagged and funny looking, but you know what? It's going to be the perfect petal. So what you're going to do is take these pieces, and anywhere where there's a point or a sharp edge, just take your honing stone. Thank you, Valerie. Thank you, Wendy, for the stars. You're going to take your stone. You can use a brick if you don't have one, but this is just a sharpening stone or a honing stone. You can get these on Amazon or at the dollar store. They're just knife sharpening stones. So I'm just going to take my piece. Already did this, but I want to show you what I did. And anywhere there's like a point, just scratch it on your brick or on your stone. Scratch it a couple of times. This one has a nice little point. Thank you, Denny. Thank you, Becky. So just scratch it across that stone and it will dull those points off of your pieces, and you can kind of touch and see where there's anything sharp. Usually it's going to be that little point on your piece. Okay, so just scratch it on your stone, on your brick. If there's new construction in your area, thank you, Patricia. If there's new construction in your area, go get a broken brick out of the yard. They don't care. They're going to throw that away anyway if it's broken. So you're just going to hit those points and get that sharp point honed down a little bit. All right. So that is our petals. That's what we're going to use to build our poinsettia. All right. So a couple of other things I brought to the dance is these are string beads. They're not really beads, I guess, but these came on a string from Michael's. They do still have these. I saw them in Michael's recently. And there's like 10 or so of these on a strand. And so I just busted that strand up, and we might throw a couple of these into the mix. And I had 2 different colors, so we're going to probably use those. I also grabbed just some random beads out of my little bead box where I just have a lot of miscellaneous stuff. Just some beads that I felt like complemented the color of glass we were using. And I grabbed also up, thank you, Kathy. They do look like shell, and they're iridescent. They're little iridescents. And so they're super, super cool. So these came from Michael's in the bead section. So I also brought a couple of different kinds of seed beads. And I even brought some that have that kind of rosy color to them. All right. So I don't know what we're going to use exactly yet. So we're just going to get started, and we'll make those decisions along the way. Oh, I brought these too because these are super fun and iridescent. Let me see if I can open them and show you. These are kind of pearly, iridescent, and they flash blue and pink. Super, super gorgeous. Thank you, Barbara. I'm sorry you couldn't find us. We're always right here on this page on Wednesday. Okay, so we're going to get started by just putting a little base coat color onto our canvas. Now, since we're using this dusty rose, I decided to use, hey, Christine, I decided to use this metallic. It's called metallic stone. It's kind of a pinky rose color, but I think I'm going to also mix a little pearl in with that so that our poinsettia stands out, because this is super close to the same color as the glass. So I'm going to start with just a little bit of the metallic white. This is just a white pearl color. Now this came from Hobby Lobby, but you guys know that they got rid of this brand, Anita's. So any pearl color is what you want, any pearl. All right, doesn't matter the brand, doesn't matter what, as long as it's like a metallic white pearl. And I am literally just going to squirt a little right onto my canvas. Got a little glass nibbles on there. And I'm going to grab a brush. And I got a 1 inch, so it goes a little faster. I'm just going to spread that paint all over. Uh-oh, Santa Claus is here. I'm going to spread that paint all over my canvas. Nice and even. I got too much. Hey, Santa Claus. Nice and even. Now, normally I tell you when you work with metallics to like pull all in the same direction so it's nice and smooth. But we don't really care about that right now. We don't mind a little bit of that texture. That still hurts where I got that little piece of glass. All right. So I don't mind a little bit of texture because it's kind of the background for the poinsettia. So I'm just gonna dot in a little bit of this rosy, dusty rose color. It is metallic stone. And I'm just gonna smush it in, y'all. I'm just gonna take my color and just smush it around. And just give me a little bit of a light rosy background. Now, I like that, but it's super thick. There's way too much paint on there. Thank you, Amy and Rita, you guys. So I think what I'm gonna do is grab up, I had some the plastic that was on my canvas is in the trash. Let me grab it out. And I'm just gonna use that plastic from my canvas. This is what my canvas was wrapped in. Thank you, Rosemary. And I'm just gonna wad it up and I'm just gonna kind of pounce and give my paint just kind of a textured look. And then we're gonna dry it, okay? And it'll flatten out as we dry. All right, so let me grab my dryer, put my brush in the water before that gets messed up. And we're gonna just lightly dry this and see what we end up with. Hopefully it'll be a little bit of visual texture. So let's get her dry. Yes, Christine, you can use metallic powder. Now keep in mind that it does dry your paint up. The powder soaks up the liquid, the waters, in your paint, so it might turn gloppy or dry really fast. So keep that in mind when you're working with metallic powder. Yeah, so it gives it a little movement. I kind of am digging it. So it'll be interesting for our poinsettia. Thank you, Deanna. Yeah, you guys. And it's kind of thick, so it might take a few extra seconds to dry. Thank you, Melinda. Hello, Angela. It's still wet. It's gonna take a minute. It is kind of cool though. I am digging it. And it flashes pearl depending on how you look at it. I'm gonna get it dry. Hey Pam. I'm gonna get it dry and then kind of wiggle it around and show y'all. Still not quite there. Wiggle it around and show y'all kind of the texture of it. Hello, Laura. I think it's getting there. One more second. I'm gonna turn this down though. Thank you, Diana. Hey, Pam. Yes, you can always watch it on replay, Linda. There's always a replay. You're welcome, Judy. I appreciate you. Hey, Patty. It is shimmering. Okay, let's turn that off. I'm going to let that cool for just a second. And then, oh, y'all, come on. I'm going to kind of wait for the camera to catch up, but look. It is so metallic-y, and it looks, depending on which way you angle it, it looks really interesting. Yes, I love that. And that is going to look so good with this glass. Let's see. Look at that. So pretty. Yes. Okay. That was a win. That was a win. So the next thing we're going to do is just start piling up glass. This is all the painting we are going to do. All right. So just the pearl and that rose color. So now I have all this glass here and I'm just going to start applying my petals. I like to start with 4, you know, top, bottom, left, right of the biggest pieces. So I'll start there, and I'm just going to, I'm going to do that one here. So I like a top, and then another big piece for the bottom. And I want it to be as close to the edge as I can be, because we do want to have that nice center. Thank you for the sprinkles. We are going to be gifting this lovely poinsettia in the next few days after it is dry and cured. So make sure you sprinkle the love. Let your friends know we're here hanging out, and we'd love for them to join us. And somebody come back and let me know you did that. And then we will gift our poinsettia to some lucky sprinkler. Thank you, Christine. So just make sure you let me know that you sprinkled, and we'll be sharing the love. Okay, so I start with 4, and then I just kind of start filling it in. Don't be scared, Linda. If you mess it up, you just messed it up. Just look. If somebody looked at this glass that I have cut today, I mean, look at these pieces. They're so weird. You would think, well, this is ruined. I messed it all up and I can't use it. No, yes, you can. You can. And I'm going to prove it to you right now. All right? So we're going to start with those 4. Then I'm going to scoot them in just a little. I don't want that much of a center. I'm going to start filling in, and I'm just going to start with my bigger pieces. And you can see these are just weird shapes, but I'm going to start with my bigger pieces, and I'm going to start forming kind of a circle in the center for the center of my poinsettia. Hey, Pamela. Hello, Linda. Yay, Barb. I hope it had some good stuff in it. I didn't pack those. My daughter and a couple of the girls in the warehouse packed those, and they had so much fun doing that. They really had a good time making those. So you can see that it's starting to come together. So we have almost a full circle, and we're going to use all of these pieces, and we're just going to keep filling in. So in between 2, we're going to add another one. This votive came from Hobby Lobby, and I'm gonna make sure I use my, okay, see how this one, it's kind of fat on one end and pointy on the other. I'm gonna put the fat end to the middle, somewhere in a space that needs a little extra space. So I'm gonna scooch that apart, and we'll tuck that right in, and we'll put this back. All right. So start from your big to small. So yeah, this vase came from Hobby Lobby. It's very textury. And I'm just gonna fill in with whatever I have on my plate. So we're gonna just keep going. We'll fill in here. And here's another one. We can just put that one right there. Whoop. Oh, I'm glad that didn't break. That's a good one. That's a pretty one. We're going to put this one, we'll scooch over. Don't be afraid to change your mind and move things around a little if you need to. And here's another nice one. I'm going to stick that one in there. I'm just going to keep going, y'all. Just fill in the holes. We'll stick that one right in there. This is a little baby one, so I'm going to just find a naked spot and just stick that right in. Just tuck her in. And just keep on keeping on. Tuck that one in there. All right, that one's making me mad. I'll fix it. I'm actually gonna put it somewhere else. I'll put something else there. I'm gonna push that there. Actually, let's do that. Tuck it in right there. All right, now be still. All right, so I have a few little bitty pieces. I'm just gonna start adding in. They're petals, so you know, it's fine. Right here. Just layer them up. We'll put one here, and I think we're almost done. It's starting to look full and flower-esque. So, Christine, if there's something you can't find, please email us. I can't see what you're asking for. All right, I'm gonna add a couple more. I'm gonna stick this one right in here. Might as well use them all, right? And then I'll tuck this one right under gently. And I think I'm good. I don't need these pieces, and they're weirdo shapes anyway. So as you can see, I had some very strange looking shapes. But when you pile them all on together and just go in a circle, then you end up with this cute petal shape, and nobody is the wiser that your shapes were kind of wonky, right? All right. Okay, so now what I want to do is do my center. This piece is upsetting me greatly. Hang on. It won't be still. He's making me angry. Okay, I think we're good now. So what I'm gonna do, because I do have some round beads I wanna put in the center, so I am going to just squirt a little bit of glue, not too much. You don't want a petal. You don't want a puddle. You just want a little bit of glue on the inner circle on your canvas to kind of keep those beads in place while you are doing your resin. You don't want them rolling around and, you know, going crazy. All right, so I'm gonna start with these. I think I have like 5 of these beads. These are just beads from either Michael's or Hobby Lobby. Susan, I showed earlier how I honed the edges. So if you'll watch the replay, I honed all those sharp bits, but I do not use a tumbler. I used a honing stone. So I'm gonna just add these to the middle, and then we'll just build on that. I actually see one more in my stash. You know I like odd numbers, but we're going for it. There we go. So we're gonna just like we builded the leaves or petals. Y'all, I cannot talk. Okay, just like we layered and built the petals, we're gonna do the same with the center. There we go. So I forgot I had these too. I'm gonna leave those aside for now. I'm gonna just start adding in a couple of different things to build up the center of my flower. I'm gonna start with this. These are Bead Treasures. They're just an older box, but they are the 6O crystal. They're silver lined, and we're gonna add a few of those. And I'm just going to pour some in my hand, just maybe a teaspoon. And I'm just gonna let them fall into the center, just filling in holes and gaps in the middle. And there's some that came out over here, and I'm just gonna leave them there because once we do our resin, we'll add some more of that too. So we may add a good bit of this after we resin. All right, so I'm gonna add a couple of these iridescent beads that I showed you. So basically just anything you have in your art pantry, you can add to the center. I like to just kind of stay in the same color family. So I'm gonna throw 8 or 9 of these iridescent beads right into the middle. Get out of my fingernail, I got glue in there. And we'll be able to adjust these as needed once we do our resin, if we need to push them around a little. All right, I'm pretty happy with that. We are gonna use some more seed beads once aren't they pretty? They're so gorgeous. I gotta show you again. I have no idea where I got these. Probably Amazon, but they are so pretty and they just flash all the colors. Love it. And you see I've kept them in the box and I use them sparingly because they're so beautiful. So I think what we're gonna do is go ahead and mix up some resin, and then I kind of wanna use these and I kind of just wanna leave what's going on, because I just don't know that we need these, because they look more like a petal than a leaf. And I think I'm just gonna leave that be. So never mind that. But I am going to keep these seed beads here just in case we need to use those. Okay, so let's go ahead and mix up some resin. I'm gonna mix up 1 ounce of resin. So I'm gonna do a 1/2 ounce and a 1/2 ounce. Let me go ahead and mark my cup. I'm gonna push this up just a little. There's a bead. Just throw him in. Push that up just a little. I'm gonna do a 1/2 ounce. Where's my halfies? Oh, that does not even have the embossing on it. 1/2 ounce. These are, the older I get, the harder it is to see these lines. 1/2 ounce of hardener. And 1/2 ounce of resin. They need to do better. Do better. This one's good. 1/2 ounce of resin. All right. So I'm just marking my cups because I'm old and I'm blind and I can't see. All right. So I am going to glove up. So in all essence, guys, this vase was like a $3 vase. Just a little votive. It was probably about this size. So really small votive. It was $3.99, so I probably paid $2 for it. And a vase, a handful of small little beads and pebbles, and an ounce of resin, and you have a beautiful piece of art just that quickly. Okay, so I'm gonna glove up, and then we will pour us some resin. So who thinks they're going to be gifted this lovely art piece? This is gonna be really pretty. I'm excited to see. Thank you, Catherine. I'm excited to see the end result. I'm gonna leave these here so I don't forget to potentially add some more to the, thank you, Anna. Add some more to it. So we are going to use art resin. I'm gonna pour my hardener first. I'm gonna do a 1/2 ounce, which is probably too much, but we're going for it anyway because I'd rather have a little too much than not enough. I did an art piece yesterday for a video and I poured too much resin. So I just made another piece of art. So we have a 1/2 ounce of hardener. So we're gonna set this aside so we don't get it mixed up with this, right? Now we're gonna do the resin. Patty says she's winning. So I'm gonna put the resin in this cup and then we'll combine them into 1 cup. Dadgummit, I didn't bring my other cups in here. I'm gonna have to grab one. Okay, slow your roll, Cindy. So want to get close to that line. You want to stop pouring. Let me grab a cup, y'all. I didn't know how to tell you. Okay, sorry guys, I had to go get some cups. I've used all my little 2 ounce cups. So y'all just talk amongst yourselves. So now I'm going to take my stir stick and I'm going to scrape my hardener and my resin into my bigger cup because I need that mixing space. So you don't want to pour an ounce of resin in a 1 ounce cup. Posted a response. I'm going to hit the send arrow. Oh, that's okay, Sharon. It's okay. It happens. It happens. Okay, so I'm going to put my resin in my bigger cup. And scrape all that goodness out. And the hardener and the resin all in 1 cup. You always want to make sure you have mixing space. That's why we couldn't pour it all in the same cup, because we wouldn't have space to mix it together. So now we are going to stir and stir. We're going to do this for 3 minutes. So you're going to stir and you're going to scrape the sides, scrape the bottom, all that kind of stuff. We're going to do that for 3 minutes. So I will answer any questions during those 3 minutes, and Catherine will let me know when my 3 minutes have expired. And yes, I do have a few more art pieces, Rebecca, to put on the website. I actually have been selling a lot just to like people in my area. They've like been calling me up saying, do you have this? Do you have that? Oh no. You know, they're looking for art. So I haven't really had a lot to sell online because my hometown's been buying them all up. But I'll try to get those on before the end of the week. I don't have a lot, but I do have 6 or 8 pieces. So anyway, so we're going to just stir. And I wanted to remind you of this. When it's winter, you need to make sure that you are storing and doing your projects in a warmer area. You don't want to store your resin in a room that is 60 degrees, okay? It makes your resin cold, and then it's harder to mix, and it does create a lot of bubbles, all right? So also, when you're doing your art, it's going to be easier and you're going to have less problems if your room is warm. 68 to 70 degrees is ideal, in my opinion. So just make sure you do that. That way you're not just creating issues for yourself. If you have questions about what temperature your house should be for the resin you're using, if you're using art resin, you can go to their website and they'll explain the whole thing to you. But the resin does play better. It plays nicer if it's a little warm, 70-ish at least, in your art room, craft room, whatever. Pamela, I don't know. We have been so busy. We have not had a hot minute to work on glass strips. It may be after Christmas because those are extremely time consuming, and we are doing everything we can right now just to get orders out in a timely fashion. So I apologize. They sold out really fast. I think we do have a few that we can list, but not a lot. Oh my gosh, Polly, I would die. Thank you, Catherine. We do have a few, and I will try to get those on the website this week as well. But as far as sitting down to cut, it's probably going to be after Christmas because we are exhausted over here. All right, so we are all mixed. Catherine called time. And so our resin is mixed. We've scraped the sides, scraped the bottom, and blended that really nicely. So now I'm just going to start pouring it over the top. Oh my gosh, Polly. That sounds like my dad, my stepdad, when he was ill. He could not get warm. He had blood cancer, but he could not get warm. And it would be 80 degrees in the house, and we would all be sweating and he will be freezing to death. Bless his heart. I hope he's not sick. So I got the center of my piece saturated. No, Kim, the art resin does not. That's what I use exclusively is the art resin. It does not have a strong odor. So I saturated the center. Now I'm just going to take my resin and I'm going to start dripping it on each petal individually. I'm not going to go and try to just go around and around and do all the petals at once. I am going to methodically cover one petal at a time. So I'm going to get that one, then we'll come to this one. Make sure it's nice and covered. And I got one tucked up under there a little, so I'm going to make sure to get a little bit of resin underneath there as well. So I'm just going to keep going one petal at a time. Doing one petal at a time will keep you from missing something accidentally and then coming back the next day and having loose glass, okay? So make sure you're very methodical about applying your resin. It's not hard, it's just you have to have some patience with yourself and know that if you just take your time and do it slowly and methodically, that you're not gonna have to redo it tomorrow. And I don't know about y'all, but I don't like having to redo pieces. Nothing irritates me more. Well, other things do irritate me more, but that's pretty irritating. You know who irritates me more? Trolls. The Christmas trolls. They are out in full force. All right, so I'm just gonna keep going. Make sure all the edges are covered on my petals. Keep going, keep going. Last thing. Hang on, y'all. So I see that I'm getting a lot of questions, but I'm going to tell you this right now. It's super hard to concentrate on the resin process and answer the questions. So if I miss your question, or if Catherine misses your question, or Becky, I'll do a little Q&A once we're done here for 5 or 10 minutes, and we'll get those questions answered. That's super hard to apply resin and read comments. So just give me just a few minutes of grace here. All right, I'm gonna turn this. So I'm about 3/4 done. So the 1 ounce was perfect. I'm just gonna keep making sure all my petals are covered. I don't want to have to do it again. Petal, petal. This color even is prettier with the resin on top. Y'all, I cannot wait to finish so y'all can see it. It really, really brought out the color. All right. Get that piece. That one's kind of loosey-goosey. I need to find a little gap in there so I can squeeze some resin in. Because I can tell it's not catching. There, now it is. All right, almost done. Y'all, I can't wait to show you this. This is so stinking pretty. I knew when I saw this vase, this was gonna make a gorgeous poinsettia. And I was worried about it breaking weird because of the texture. Because y'all know with textured glass, sometimes it's a fight. The fight to the finish. Smooth glass is so much easier to work with, but it's so boring. It can be boring. Almost done, y'all. Got a little piece on the, I'm gonna scooch that one over for 1 second because I got a little piece underneath that needs some attention. And I'm actually gonna pick this up. Put some on the inside. That's that piece that was irritating me earlier, isn't it? All right, we'll tuck her back in. Now it's irritating me again. All right. All right, I think we're done. Let me get the last little bits on the edge. So I've been pulling it out onto the flat parts of my canvas as I went. I have just a tiny bit left. So I'm just gonna go around and just add a few drizzles here and there just to use up my resin and make sure everything is stuck down well. And we can be done. I'm gonna add some more pretties though. We can almost be done. I wanna add some more goodness to the center. All right, so our resin is on. So before we add any more of those beads, I'm gonna take these gloves off and I'm gonna hit this with my heat gun and make sure all the bubbles are out. Ooh. I'm just gonna hit it. There's no heat there. Come on. There we go. Just hit it with your heat gun. I'm impatient. And pop any of those bubbles. All right. And if you have a toothpick or a bead pick like this, any little petal that you feel has misaligned or gotten out from where it needs to be, there's a little bubble, there's a little bead here. You can use your bead pick to kind of push them around, make sure everything is where you want it. It's gonna stay a lot easier now that the resin is on there. So I am kind of digging how mine looks. I'm not disappointed at all, but I do want to add, get over there. I do want to add a few more things to the center. I'm going to show you this close up real quick so you can see the close up view. And look at that. It kind of looks brown, but it's not. It is a rosy gold, coppery color. I love it. It is so, 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 so pretty. Yeah, if you take blood thinners, I don't know that I would cut my own glass. You need to buy it. Okay, so we already added some of this larger crystal, silver-lined crystal. I do have some of the same stuff in smaller. It is the size 12, which is a tiny little size. So I think I'm just going to sprinkle some of that right on top of my center. And I might add just a few around the edges just to give it a little pizzazz. It's going everywhere. And now we have to make a decision, y'all. This is the decision time. These are not really the same color. So I'm thinking no without even asking. Because these are more pinky, mauve. Remember mauve? Who remembers mauve? Show of hands if you remember the color mauve. Ugh, yuck. Yeah, you remember mauve? This is mauve. This is more of a coppery rose. So I think we're gonna skip the mauve. And I'm gonna add some of these clear iridescent. And just kind of frost up some of the petals a little. I'm just digging this so much already just like it is. I don't think we can do anything else to it. I wanna show you guys close up. Then I'm gonna show you, hang on. I don't wanna do this with my finger, but I'm gonna, because I need to fix that spot. There's a little something going on there. Wipe my finger off. And yeah, these are, I want to show you these. I'm going to bust it open so I can show you. Mauve and hunter green, right? And peach. Remember the peach color too? I think when I was pregnant with my 32-year-old, Our bathroom was peachy colored. Oh my God. Oh, okay. I hear y'all. Look, y'all, that scares me. That one is kind of a coppery color. Let's see. Look, y'all, that works. That works. We'll just pick out the ones that do work because there's some coppery looking ones. Oh, y'all, yes. Yes, ma'am. I was wrong. It happens. It happens. So there are there's a lot of mauve, but there are some little coppery, little bits of little tiny copper beads in here. And those look really nice. Let me see. Oh, that one would look nice too, but it's awful big. Look at that. It's too big. I got to get it out. It's too big. I wish it was smaller. Actually, what do you think if I put it right in the middle? Get it up there. We'll scoot that over. Look at that. Oh, what do you think? Can you even see that? Hang on, I'll show it to you close up. Hang on, y'all. I'm having fun now. I'm playing around. Ain't even kidding. Let me see if I can find one more like super duper cool one. Come on, give me something cool. Give me something cool. It's not going to. Maybe let's try this one. We'll put it over in the side. There we go. I'm going to put all these back. But, okay, this is in the wrong tube because it's the, I don't have the name of these beads because these got put in the wrong tube because the tube broke because, oh, no, it's not. I'm sorry. That's this. This says the C, and that's wrong. So these are called Burgundy Dream. These came from Hobby Lobby, and those are the ones I just used that have the little coppery. I'm going to get that really close so you can see what I added to the middle. Is that not gorgeous? Holy moly, y'all. That is so pretty. Oh my gosh, whoever gets gifted this is very lucky.